Oh, Stephen A. Smith. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. To quote Sweet Daddy Williams to JJ, Stephen A. Smith, my man, you in trouble. And you know this ain't gonna be good. Now you got into it, Willie D, after Faizon Love, trying to diss OJ Simpson. You see, all you had to do was just shut up, don't say nothing. All you had to do was probably say nothing, or you didn't really, maybe you didn't feel a certain way, but you had to go and regurgitate about the criminal and the civil. The man was found not guilty. Jury of peers in LA. And I don't know how many times I keep saying, just look at Judge Joe Brown, what he says. Oh, Jeffrey Tubin, Pee Wee Herman, who was playing on the Zoom, boom, 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 talking about all those black jurors and that. Well, the white jurors didn't feel there was enough evidence to even charge OJ, Stephen A. Smith. Did you do your homework? Or did you just read off the teleprompter or the master slapped you across your receding hairline as it was going back and you just couldn't see or you don't want to listen? Comprehension. Ironically, OJ Simpson might be what gets your butt kicked off the ESPN plantation, even though they don't love OJ. And let me ask these hateful folks out here, white, black, and indifferent, when someone deceased, you're supposed to say rest in peace or don't say nothing. All this hate and vile towards OJ Simpson is not healthy. It's not very Christian like, or whatever faith you have. But a lot of demonic folks think it's fashionable to take shots without knowing the full. And you either accept the American justice system or you don't. If you're Stephen A. Smith, you're saying, what are you trying to say about you supposed to be such a strong, black, and high mighty man? So you're saying those jurors are beneath you? You can't live with that verdict? Let me let you in a secret. Civil cases is the most fraudulent cases there are because anybody can get a dollar off of you. Civil cases aren't hard to prove at all. As a matter of fact, that's why the Puffy situation and other situations, it was about the bag. They stopped going to the criminal because it was hard to prove. But the cash roll is easy to get for a few reasons. Some people don't want the bad publicity. Some people sell out of court. Some people don't know how to go through it. It's better to pay and hush and keep it moving. And you can think what you want. But this thing where he was going at Willie D was ridiculous. And Faizon too. Because Willie D made his point clear. He wasn't someone that was a OJ Simpson cheerleader. However, the history of America with 3Ks, however, the way the railroad or the system, and if you're from the perspective that, hey, just on the fact that this never happens in your lifetime, that maybe that OJ did what white folks do. He had the right people in the right places. Because 10 times out of 9, you don't see black folks who are able to defend themselves for a rainy day. And that's the first time, like, wow, maybe America makes sense. Maybe being here is actually like, wow. But see, did Stephen A. Smith think of it like that? No. He thought of it because of, like, on that plantation, as they badmouth OJ and they said, yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't have that same energy for Robert Blake. They don't. Or that same energy for Phil Spector. Phil Spector still got honored despite unaliving that woman and repeatedly years of shooting. And you could make the case that Phil Spector was almost revered as a music producer as OJ was as an all around entertainer. You could make that case. But you see, they don't talk about that. He just started talking about Ryan Garcia yesterday. But how many times have there been situations that he didn't immerse himself in when there were white folks who he didn't go after Donald Sterling and Robert Sarver like that. He didn't go after them like that. I can name others. And he don't say nothing. But he sits there and shuffles for Jerry Jones. He ain't really touched about Reggie Jackson, but he was so supportive of Donald Trump. Yeah, where is Stephen A. talking about a man? If you a big Yankees fan, how do you avoid not talking about the candy bar? How do you not talk about the Negro Leagues and how they're implementing and how racist that the MLB is still is systematic institutionalized? How you don't talk about that? You know, you want to come after somebody. You want to come after Willie D, who's doing quite well for himself on these YouTube streets. As Faizon's doing this thing too. You know. And it's let me get something straight. It's not no hero love or worship the altar of OJ Simpson. It's that not only not guilty, but he was a great player, great athlete. Let me let you on a secret. We separate the two. Just like how people separate Stephen A. Smith's hairline from his commentary, even though they still worlds apart. And in the black community, they real apart. And I ain't gonna sit here and say I speak for even half of black folk, but I'm gonna tell you one thing about Stephen A. Smith. His shuffling job is bad. One hand he going after Will Smith, OJ, Kyrie Irving. He always got something to say. Got always something to say. You know. Don't you ever get tired of fetching the ball? They throw the ball, and you still running behind it, and you just laughing and all happy. And you ain't got nothing to say. You got nothing to say. You got nothing to say about the you want to get political? You don't say nothing about not teaching black history in schools and everything with that. Got nothing to say. You got nothing to say about Johnny Cochran. Talking about what you would do. You can't even get off the ESPN plantation. They tried to get you off. They tried to give you a corny gig on General Hospital as an actor. And they tried those other shows. And you did do good by them. But you've been called out. Terrell Owens called you out over Max Kellerman. You've gotten called out. And then you got a fellow shuffle buddy in Shannon Sharp, who's basically a modern day version of Rona Barrett. Look her up. Or I'll say almost like the black Wendy Williams. Because let's be realistic. He get paid. And I respected him as a football player. But Shannon Sharp basically, and it's comedic timing. But basically, he gets promoted to diss black folk too. To have interviews with folk that he doesn't bring to people that are exactly stimulating conversationalists. I don't see Nikki Giovanni crashing his couch no time soon. I don't see people that are educators, he wouldn't even have Cornel West on his couch. Because the ESPN plantation told him to get Club Shay Shay, you gotta play. We know how it go. But anyway, SAS, you in trouble. And all that shuffling is backfired. The ESPN plantation don't want you. You messing with the wrong brothers too. Them cats, they gon' clown and dish you left and right. But you already know that though. I hope you do. Take Molly with you. And Willie D tore him up limb by limb. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments. And I do respond, thank you, wash your hands. Keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Rest in peace, OJ Simpson. Not guilty. One of the greatest football players ever. Don't forget, I'm out.